Hi, my name is Arthur Albert. I'm a luthier at Fibonacci guitars. I'm going to show you on this video how to dismantle the pickguard and pickup assembly in order to repair, or in this case to fabricate and fit a replacement pickguard. This really is the job of a professional luthier. It's definitely not a DIY operation. In order to release the pickup, we need to generate some freedom in the cable supplying the pickup from here. So if you come in here with a wire, you can gently pull up this loop in the wire, and you may want to, well, it's definitely advisable to put some tape around here. You need to get in there with some end nippers and cut away that cable tie, and that will give you a little bit of leeway for when you release the assembly to move it away from the guitar. This can all be done with the strings on. So after you've released the cable, by the way, if you can't get enough room to move this away up here, you may have to remove the knobs and the controls. In that case, you'll definitely have enough room to draw the cable through and give you room to handle the assembly and deal with it. So the first thing to do is to remove these pickguard screws here. Now these are of different lengths, so obviously they need to go back in exactly the same orientation, so make sure you make a note of that. So once that's been removed, the whole assembly can be carefully drawn away and then flipped on its back with some protection on the strings, and then you can avoid damaging the surface of the guitar as you work. And this is all done with due care, obviously. I'll just move this away just so as I can show you what's going on. Bear in mind, when you dismantle the assembly by removing these two screws, the pickguard and the pickup will part. And there's a little plate on the back which holds the nuts which engage with these screws. That needs to go back in the same orientation. And to help you, there's a little chamfer on the end of the plate, and that's away from the pickup. So the chamfer points away from the pickup. So you have your this existing pickguard is now free. So the object now is to create an absolute dead copy of this. These holes must be in exactly the same position on the new blank, otherwise it won't fit. So the way to achieve this is to clamp this firmly on top of your blank, aligning the back edge and the point. You may get some variation down here, but don't worry about that. As I said, these are handmade and each one is different. So clamp that on top of that, nice and firmly. It mustn't move. And if it's aligned properly, then you'll end up with a good result. The next thing to do then, using this 2.7mm transfer punch, is to go through these holes into your blank quite firmly, with a firm background, and make a nice impression so that you can drill it. Now, while this is clamped to that, you should also get a fine point pencil and scribe around that cutaway onto your blank, and that will show you where you have to remove material so that it goes up against the pickup like that. You can do that by drilling a 5mm hole each end and sawing it, or a chain of 5mm holes along here, and then sanding it away, whatever you decide to do. So when you've punched the holes through and you have your impressions, you need to go in now with a 1.5mm drill, just ordinary twist drill. A small drill will engage quite nicely in that impression you've made. So go in, drill those 4 holes with a 1.5mm drill. When you've done that, the next step, this is very important, after the 1.5mm hole, you need to go in with a 5mm. That's very specific. 5mm, which accepts the little round head, and it has to be a lip and spur bit.